Welcome to Tigers Untapped, a Bluff City Media podcast. Stepping up to the microphones are your hosts, Trey Lasley and TJ Willis. Pull up your chair, grab your favorite brew, and enjoy the conversation. Now, let's get to the show.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome back to the 3-in-1 edition of Tigers Untapped.
It's just not as fun after a win.
It's not after a
Or
win.
after a loss.
Damn, I wish we'd have won. It'd have been a lot of fun in this place.
A lot more fun.
We needed it so bad. You imagine where we'd be at right now if we were 4-0, having beaten the Missouri Tigers in St. Louis with Boise coming to town?
Number 25 in the nation. That's probably where we'd be.
What are they now, 23?
Yeah. They had a bigger win
Whatever.
than we did. So,
yeah, sure.
all right, today we have, this is Meddlesome, Hotter Than Hellz. Kind of an interesting looking can here. Hotter Than Hellz. We chose this because it's going to be Hotter Than Hellz this Saturday. Well, yeah, I guess I chose it.
I'm going to fully blame our friend John because you know what he said at the Navy game when we were in the sim the other night?
Something about only beautiful weather from here on out.
He said, wow, I cannot believe we haven't had a hot game this season. And I was like, John,
You clown.
we still have a September game that at that point we didn't know the time. I was like, guarantee you it's going to be a day game.
Yeah.
I think the high is
90?
88 right now.
I mean, it's not really that hot, but like when I'm used to
Well,
this
if you think
fall
about
weather
it,
right now.
what was that UCLA game? I think the high that day was only like 88.
Yeah, we looked that up and it was like 88, 86.
You've got the video on your phone of me
Yeah, dude, I
nearly
had
having
video
a
of
heat stroke.
7 carts carting people away to get freaking IVs.
We'll see. A lot of time between, it's Monday night, a lot of time between now and then. So hopefully
It may change.
hopefully a cold front comes in here and we get into the low 80s, maybe upper 70s.
Bless them.
That'll be one of those the sunburn games though,
Oh, yeah. Just one side roasted.
where our left side just gets fried.
Yeah.
Gotta remember the sunscreen Saturday. All right, Tej.
I don't even want to talk about it.
Do you not?
I mean, we got to, but like, it's just upsetting.
Didn't make the trek up there. Did have some of our buddies over. You didn't come because you were dealing with the stomach bug over at the Willis household.
Well, not me.
But, well, I just meant your family in general. Watched the game on a 120-inch projector screen. That is the move. And at halftime, we tried out. We've recently switched. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, cutting cable. So TJ and I are in a family plan, a YouTube TV right now.
Yep.
The multi-view
It's great.
is killer.
Yeah.
Absolutely killer. Now, of all of that, the dome looked absolutely dog shit
Just wretched.
on the telly.
Yeah, dude.
I was there.
It was disgusting.
It was terrible.
I mean, how old is that turf?
it was
Not only is it discolored and disgusting, and it was shining and reflective and hard to see when they would pan out, somehow they had like 2 sets of lines.
It's because the Battlehawks, I think, play on that.
But why were they not lined up? Why were they all like exactly a yard apart? You had 2 of every,
Yeah, I don't know. That's
the
weird.
30, the 40, the 50. They were all like 6 inch. Not, it was probably a foot. They were all like a foot apart from one another. Why?
Yeah, I don't know,
why are
that's
the lines not lining up?
I don't know. I know why the hash and stuff aren't lining up. They're
Well,
just
yeah, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good question.
You would assume the 2 30s would be in the same spot.
You know what it looked like? It looked somehow worse than the old turf at the Liberty Bowl.
the turf was way. I walked on it.
Gray.
Even just walking on it though, it was uneven, and it felt like it was bouncing. Like it felt like you were bouncing on. I literally, I said to somebody before the game, I was like, man, I really hope that there's no injuries out here because of this turf.
Yeah.
That is, bouncy is not what I was going to, I thought you were going to say it was hard as a rock.
No,
Like it was just like a rug over some concrete.
the Liberty Bowl or the Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium turf is hard as a
I
rock.
would say that one looks hard.
That one's hard. That one feels more like it's like you're stepping on grass on solid ground there.
Yeah, like a real drought area. It's
Like
just been so dry.
Right. But this one felt like you were kind of like, you know how when
Like
you
on a
walk
child's
into,
playground.
No.
and they've got the rubber.
I love
That's
that
it.
feel.
yeah,
That's fun.
Y'all been to those like trampoline parks, right?
Oh yeah.
Like those trampoline places. It
Get
felt
air.
like when you get in there and you're kind of like bouncing around. That's what it
As
felt
you're
like.
walking.
Yeah.
Wow. Surprised we didn't see more jump balls then.
I don't think it's that bouncy, but anyway, it just looked awful.
Disgusting.
It looked awful, and I get that. Like,
Not only did it look awful, the camera work was
dude,
awful.
that was
I mean, how many
brutal.
how many passing plays did we not get to see the route or who was even the ball was
Saw
being
nothing
thrown to?
beyond the linebacker. It was just like this, and it never moved.
What an absolute amateur hour. Outside of that, Tej, initial thoughts, 34-27 loss. Seth, 31 of 47, 316, 3 tutties, 2 interceptions, and my guy had 2 fumbles. We recovered both of them. But Brady cooked us. 18 of 25, 341, 2 tutties, 13.6 average. Luther Burden cooked us, 10 receptions, 177. He didn't have a tutty, though, but he did miss a large portion of the second half.
Yeah.
My guy also had, how many did you say yards after the catch Luther had? 128.
Yeah, so he had 177 receiving yards, like 128 yards after catch, which we'll kind of talk about later. But I know I feel like I jinxed that though because I was talking beforehand, like, oh, we've done a really good job of keeping a lot of these wide receivers in check. Sorry, guys.
Oops. The secondary looked atrocious.
Yeah,
You don't agree?
No, it's not that they didn't look atrocious. I just think that you can kind of give up maybe a long bomb. I mean, like I'm trying to think of how to word this.
How
If you were
how do you
focusing-
get? I'm talking first touchdown play, 76
Yeah,
yard.
he got roasted.
How
on
do
that
you
one.
get called for holding
5
and-
yards behind the dude?
and get beat that bad?
Pull him to the ground.
If you're going to hold, you better
get
hold
the
that
spot
son
foul
of a
right
gun.
there, yeah,
I mean, just tackle him.
yeah. It's a smarter play.
But yeah, that's embarrassing. Well, honestly, the hold, they showed it wasn't much of a hold. He did grab him
He
for a
did
half
grab
second.
him, but yeah. I don't know. I did expect a little bit more from the secondary, and I think that this could be a situation where Memphis is playing a little bit more aggressive, pressing at the line, and then obviously having to play catch up if the guy gets by you. Because you're in theory playing against guys that are better than you, right?
Yeah.
I think that's the mindset you're supposed to have there. I mean, it is the SEC. I know it's Mizzou, but they're still 4-star, 5-star caliber guys. Like Luther Burden is a 5-star wide receiver. Like we shouldn't be shocked that he's out there roasting people.
what was the saying in that UCLA game? 5 stars versus walk-ons that Anthony coined.
Yeah, something like that. That sounds about
You
right.
remember that?
Yeah. I just don't remember it verbatim.
Not
Something
quite
like
to that level, I wouldn't say here, but nonetheless, undefeated, top 25 ranked SEC foe on the road, essentially. I mean, there were 45. I don't know. Kenny, you were in the building. Were there 45K there? What was the split in the crowd? I saw a lot of
95.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd imagine it was a lot. They were doing ticket sales for $20, $25 lower bowl.
That's disgusting because anytime I looked, it was $100 for me.
Yeah, you missed it though. You missed that promo. You had to use like a promo code thing.
How big is the stadium? How many does it seat?
Don't even.
I want to say it was like
old
60,
NFL stadium. So probably
65 or something, 67.
The upper level was pretty bare.
yeah.
But the
As it
bottom
should
bowl, the bottom bowl and middle bowl were pretty good. Pretty filled up.
It's got a capacity of 66, and they say there were 45, 85 there, 68% full. How many of those 45 you think were TIG fans?
What's 5% of
Yeah, what is the
45?
5%
Really?
math?
I feel like on some of those shots, it looked like a decently good contingent of Memphis fans went.
Well, they had the Tiger fans sitting in one specific spot right behind the Tiger bench.
Yeah.
well, that was
and-
supposed to be our whole side.
And that was it. Like there might have been some blue scattered around, but it was mainly right there behind the Tiger bench in that lower bowl. So it wasn't very many. And they weren't very, I spent a lot of time on the other side just because of the way that the shooting, kind of worked itself out. But
There's a shooting
well,
in the
filming.
dome
So
while you were there.
filming with my camera.
Gosh, St. Louis, dangerous city. I think, how loud did it get in there? I think, was it Blake that said it was louder in there than it got at Mississippi State at any point last year? Although I guess
It's a dome.
No,
it is a dome.
I disagree with that.
Wow, so you want to fight Blake.
We're going to source off.
Wow.
Interesting.
He wants to fight Blake. Blake's a nice
yeah.
guy.
Blake, I would say, you had a couple of things against you at Mississippi State. The fact that it rained literally the entire
there was
game.
a delay.
But I'm telling you, that student section.
I mean, to say that with cowbells in attendance is
the cowbells were
quite a statement.
unreal. It was so loud in there. Yeah. But it's also.
But you would agree that this was a true road environment for the Tigs.
Without a question, yeah.
Not a neutral site.
This is not a neutral site game, without a doubt.
Sure.
Yeah.
So jumping into the actual game, I would start with Seth. I think that's the first and easiest place to start off. Right?
Is Seth Doo-Doo Brown?
No, I don't think he's that.
I'm starting to have questions.
I get it. He did go 31 of 47, 316 yards, 3 touchdowns.
He made that
2
first throw on
interceptions.
4th down to Joe to take the lead 10-7. I was like,
That's the shot.
this is it.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
This is what we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
We're about to have a Seth game. And then
Look,
I saw earlier today he had 6 turnover-esque plays in that game. He had 14 all year last year, which was like 1 a game maybe. 6 against Missouri. Obviously threw the 2 picks, had the 2 fumbles, and then there were 2 more that they were classic. This is coming from Action Network. They log things like that. 6 turnover-worthy plays. Are you serious?
I think they're a good defense, for one. Let's get that out in the open. I think Mizzou will be a good defense throughout the rest of the year. Like, I think that'll track.
You think they're the best defense we'll face this season?
Them
or Tulane?
Or Tulane, yeah. The defensive lines, I think, are really good. The pass rush is very fierce. Everybody else is just kind of there, but the pass rush is really where it lives.
Sure.
But I do think they're a good defense. And I'm not too upset about the 2 interceptions. I mean, I am upset about 2 interceptions, but you are playing an SEC defense, probably on the fence. I don't know the stat line. They're probably a top 25 defense.
They're close. I was looking at it earlier. They're right on the edge.
Yeah, and that's after playing number 15 Kansas State.
Yeah.
So, like, that's good, right? It's not like sorry, guys. It's not like our defense being ranked so highly after playing Bethune-Cookman, Arkansas State, Navy.
Hey, Arkansas State put up like 45 this week.
I know. But there should have been an asterisk after it. And I think we all agree that the number 1 defense in the nation was maybe not really that, but
Statistically, it was a fact.
sure, I agree.
But after Saturday, I have real doubts.
Long story short, I think Seth has to be better, right? I think we all agree.
I mean, I think he agrees with that and knows that. But look, the 4th down pick is not a big deal to me, right? You went for it. It's 4th and 5, second half. You're trying to make something happen.
Sure.
And it's really like, I know people laugh about it, make it a joke, blah, blah, blah. It was essentially a little pooch punt.
Yeah.
Like 15 yards, whatever. They get the ball inside the 20. It was the sideline throw. I think it was to Skates.
Yes.
I mean, that was so.
Was it Skates?
I think it was.
thought
It
it
might
was
have been a rock. So underthrown, it was awful.
Yeah. If you're going to throw that, try to throw it to the outside shoulder. That way it's like in the receiver's benefit in that instance. But
I mean, he threw it short and inside.
yeah.
Can I ask you all a question about that?
Yeah.
Not the pass to Skates, but the 4th and 5 interception.
You 100% go for it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was obviously there in the dome, seeing it on TV. Momentum wise, what did it feel like coming across the screen to y'all as you were watching it?
When he threw the pick?
Well, just in general, at that moment in the game, what did it feel like to you guys?
I mean, I was sitting there screaming, go for it. Field goals aren't winning any.
I don't think a field goal was ever an option.
Right. So to me, it was like you get this 4th down, the momentum's all on our side.
Yeah.
It already felt like it was.
You had the momentum, just a slight edge on momentum.
Yeah.
In the arena, I'll say this: it felt like the Tigers had all the momentum at that point.
Oh, 100%.
Because
I mean, I felt like we had kind of gotten a rhythm. Well, hadn't we just scored at that point?
they had just scored because the right before that, Missouri had it 4th and 1.
and we stopped them.
Well, Drinkowitz tried to get cute with the ball instead of running it up the gut like he probably should have. He tried that little halfback pass, screen out of the backfield and missed it. And I'll say this, on the sideline when that play happened, I turned to a guy who was standing next to me who covers the games as well, and I said, the Tigers just won this game. The Memphis Tigers just won this game. Because I felt like Missouri had all the momentum at that point. And as soon as that happened, I was like, the momentum just inside the arena.
Oh, yeah.
It felt like the momentum just completely shifted on the bench, on the sideline, in in the crowd. It felt like everything switched.
So you went from, it was 24-10. We throw the pick down the sideline, right? Mizzou's got the ball back. They go down. Even if they kick a field goal, it's a 3-score game. You stop them on 4th and 1. We immediately go down in 2.5 minutes and score a tutty to cut it 24-17. And then you immediately force a 3 and out.
Yeah.
All the momentum.
And you're driving.
All the momentum is on their side.
You're starting the 4th quarter down a tutty, 4th and 5. Like, I don't think there was any doubt about going for it there.
Yeah.
Where was it? Where was that at the point in the game? How many minutes were left?
It was the start of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, but it was pretty early on.
That 4th and 5 was the very first play of the 4th quarter.
That to me felt like I'll just be from my vantage point on the sideline. It felt like that call though gave the Missouri Tigers all the momentum straight back, because what did they do right after that? They went straight down and scored.
Yeah,
and because they had not saying that field goals are going to win you the game. To me, it was a momentum game at that point. They had a chance to further close the gap with Missouri, and instead of taking the points, they went for it in an unnecessary place. Like that's just what I felt like. It just didn't make sense to me.
Well, for me, I'm going for that 10 out of 10 times without a question. Right, you're right there. You were down. It only made sense to go for it.
You have them a minute. If you got that 4th and 5 and you score a touchdown, you're winning the game.
Well, I think the issue is the play call. And I'm not trying to get into bashing of play calling, because it's so hard to know exactly what the real play call was.
What was called? Did Seth checked something?
I remember seeing 2 guys running left, no one running right, and Seth was having to basically
moving.
scramble to his left. So he's having to throw against his body. You're going to lose power. Seth isn't a guy who has a rifling throw. Like, he can't plant a foot and just rip one in there. If he could, then maybe you have a shot to make that throw. But moving against your body, trying to rip one in there is just so tough. So it was a bad throw from the get-go. But he was also kind of set up to fail. Like,
I mean, also at that point in
options.
time, like, everything was covered. I mean, he threw the ball. The play had been going on for 12 seconds by that point.
You can only see
he's just trying to make something
the
happen.
bottom 2 guys, and there was nothing really open.
Yeah.
And so it kind of is what it is. I didn't care about that one.
I don't hate going for it there, Kenny, to answer your question. The second kicking the field goal to make it 27-20, I don't know that I necessarily agree with that one.
Kick the field goal.
TJ likes it. I mean,
I kicked the field goal.
The problem is, and I know hindsight is 20/20, but the problem is you could have kicked the field goal a possession earlier without giving up the control of the ball and them going down and scoring, because at that point you kicked the field. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all are talking about if they had kicked the field goal at 27-20. I got you.
Yeah, I thought they should have kicked the field goal, personally. But
I don't know, man. It just felt like that game was a game of momentum swings, a lot.
Yeah.
And it just felt like the Tigers had every bit of the momentum going into the 4th quarter. And that interception, whether you want to blame it on Seth or play calls or whatever you want to blame it on, it felt like there was an opportunity to close the gap even more. And at that point, Luther Burden wasn't playing. At that point, their running back hadn't gone off like he was about to go off.
sure.
And it just felt like that play, to me, felt like it swung the momentum completely in the favor of Missouri. They were climbing uphill again instead of running downhill like they had been.
Yeah,
I'm
100%.
going to be honest. That 4th quarter for Schrader is what sealed the deal. Right.
Oh, it was disgusting.
Because that dude had struggled all game to effectively run the ball. And Missouri, as a whole, had struggled to run the ball against you. And I was like, damn, maybe our run defense is actually kind of good. No, not at all. They crumbled in the 4th. And I'm
disgusting. 9 yards here, 12 yards here, 40-yard touchdown, 40-yard touchdown run.
Whatever it was. Yeah.
I mean, you know that they're running the ball, and we literally couldn't do anything to stop them at all. It was disgusting.
And I don't want to think it's one of those situations where the D-line was tired. Like, that probably is a part of it, but you have so much depth at the D-line. Like what are we talking about? Like, Josh White easily could have come in. Like, that's a very competent player, someone who is large enough to kind of fill the gap. Instead, you're playing guys on their 50th snap of the game, and I don't know. For me personally, the Schrader being able to just run at will in the fourth quarter was disheartening.
It's gross.
Yeah, it made me think that maybe the guys had kind of given up on defense, and I don't want to say that because not everyone. You could see there was still effort out there, basically.
Yeah,
but I think that killed it. But looking back on it, I think Seth has to be better. I think play calling needs to be better. I think that
at times,
sure.
It feels
a lot of
like
it is RPO, so it looks one way. It looks like we're just handing it off left and right. But that's not really what it is.
I feel like the last several weeks this has happened. Navy, you march right down, score right away, and then you kind of just go blah for like a quarter and a half.
Sure.
And then you score right at the end of the first half, and you go down and score right at the start of the second half. It's just the consistency. And they talked about it in the post game. Seth, I think Watson talked about it, but like the offense can't get into any sort of they go through these periods where they look great, they're moving the ball, they can put points up, and then they just like 3 and out or 4 plays, 10 yards, and have to punt. I don't know.
There's a large part of that second and third quarter where I didn't see Blake get the ball at all. Was he hurt? Like, did they say,
he got 30 touches.
He was all over the field.
Well, no, there was a part of the game.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Where I looked up and I was like, why is Blake not out there? Like, 'cause I know Sutton was getting some run, but it had been at least 3 or 4 drives during the time where Blake was going off. He was the offense for a while.
Yeah.
And then
he and Rock need to be the offense moving forward.
Let's freaking clap it up for Rock. Finally, time we see Rock be Rock.
I mean, a freaking all-conference performance out of Rock on Saturday against an SEC defense. What?
A great performance, but unfortunately, Rice has like 3 receivers that are unbelievable.
Who cares? 7 catches, 143, 20.4 yard average.
That's great.
Even though
he had that one big drop.
We're talking.
That pissed me off, but
TJ's been talking about this one drop for like 15 minutes.
It was a perfect throw. We complain about Seth not making perfect throws. He made a perfect throw. A Rock turns his head way too early.
I get it.
You catch that changes things.
I get it. But down the sideline, he's taking screens for yards. I mean,
that was kind of surprising.
Rock looks like what we've hoped he would look like.
Yeah,
he and Blake need to be your offense moving forward.
I am going to disagree there. Only because we have more weapons. Where's Blake Humsey? Where's Demir? I know he got
11 targets, caught seven balls for 36 yards.
I think they need to do a better job of putting him
cussed out Seth on that one overthrow on the out route.
It was pretty bad.
He probably did cuss him out. Kenny would know. I don't know.
It was more put him in more advantageous positions.
Yeah, why do we not run more crossing routes?
I need it. I've been asking for it. I need it.
I feel like Demir would thrive in a 5-yard cross across the middle. Get him the ball quick, a slant, anything. Get him the ball in his hands, moving downfield.
And then let him turn his hips upfield.
My guy likes to
got to turn his hips up.
Go a little bit south and then maybe east or west before he gets up north.
Drives me a little nuts there. I'm not going to lie. But he's a talent. Where's Towski? Where's Joe? Give me a situation where we have Rock, Towski, and Skates all out there. It's a 6'2", 6'3".
Shoot Kobe
everybody.
With that sick 21-yard catch over the middle for a tutty at
touchdown.
The end.
Yeah.
In traffic, 2 dudes.
It was a good catch. It probably shouldn't have made that throw, honestly. Only 2 dudes? I thought there were like 3 or 4, but
it was only 2. He was sandwiched.
Anyway, for me, you have enough weapons. I hate that it feels like the offense has been handcuffed, honestly. I think that, and you and I were talking about this beforehand.
Stop using the run to try to set up the pass.
It can be, you can flip that.
Throw the ball down the field and it'll open the run up.
Spread it, open it up, spread the ball around. That will open up the box. Let Blake be Blake. Give him space.
He's so nasty.
He can't be tackled. Give him space to run in too.
18 carries, 47 yards running, only 2.6 average, but out of the backfield, 9 catches, 83 yards, 1 tutty. That was a nasty tutty too.
Yeah.
On like a 3rd and 4, I think it was.
He like shoved the guy's arms away.
And then took a hit, bounced off, and still got in. By the way, speaking of taking a hit, Blake Watson leads the country in average yards after contact at 5.01 yards after contact.
It's impressive.
Which is very impressive.
I think that's why he came here, though, right? You come
What,
to
to
a
lead
school,
the nation in yak?
Yes. You come to a school that will feature you and that has done a
he's
good
being
job
featured.
of getting your running backs in front of national eyes,
Yeah.
right? People know that Memphis put out a bevy of running backs.
I mean, he got 37, 40% of the
touches.
load.
Would you do more than that? Would you give him more?
See, I'm confused that it's even that high because Ryan has talked about several times
Not loading a guy up.
guys up.
But
with
you
the
gotta
20 touches
remember,
a game.
Nine of those were receptions out of the backfield.
How many of those were planned receptions though?
Well, the touchdown was planned.
Half
He
of them?
said it after the game.
I think that they do on purpose clear out space for him to get the ball out on the on the swing routes and
Right.
stuff like that. I think that's great. It's so smart because once you get him in space, he's so dangerous.
Yeah.
So dangerous. You can't tackle him, and you give him an extra 10 yards after the contact. So
What is it?
At least 5.
yeah,
What do y'all see on TV when I know you guys on away games you watch it on TV, but what is it about him that makes him so difficult to get down to the ground when he gets an open space like that?
it's his effort without question. He does not. I mean, you saw what was it? I'm going blank. What was
The Navy game?
The Navy game. Yes. Someone comes up to it. He just breaks through. They came up to attack him. They square up, and he just does this little jump spin.
He doesn't stop. I mean, he had one on a screen pass against Mizzou where he took it, got hit, and kind of even took like 2 steps backwards to kind of rebalance himself and then like went forward, fell forward again.
His balance is
Elite.
different. It's different. I don't know if
I
we've
think he
seen a
took
guy
ballet.
in a long time who
I
has
took
that.
ballet in high school as a class on elective. I think he might take. There were athletes in there. Elliot Williams, who went to St. George's a year above me, he was in ballet with me. We did it for basketball.
You look at.
Blake may be taking ballet. Is
Look
that a
at-
course at Memphis?
I don't think so. Maybe. If you look at Memphis running backs of the past, like here recently, Patrick Taylor, more of a power back. Henderson, speed. Gainwell, speed.
Also, just
Gibson,
I feel
kind
like
of speed. But then I think Blake is different.
why he feels built too for like contact and being able to bounce. 5'9", 200, like
He's got like a spatial awareness to him. He's got a sixth sense, if you will. Like he understands where he is at on the field and where the defenders are. And he is
He's like
already
a
calculating
cat.
his second move.
he always ends up on his feet.
Yeah. Look, he's built differently.
That's a
dude.
great description.
He does. You think about that 1-footed pirouette against Navy?
That was sick.
That was
man.
a very very
Who
feline.
thinks to do that?
Cats. Second nature.
I got cats. They're not spinning around the house like that.
Well, I've seen your cats. They're
He's a big guy. I'll tell you, we were raving about Blake being great. I can tell you who wasn't great, and that's the offensive line. I was not impressed. I wasn't. I just wasn't. And I don't know if it's the scheme. I don't know if it's the tackles specifically. I couldn't point it out. What was it? 7 tackles for loss, 5 hurries. Like they
3
have
sacks.
good pass rush, without a doubt. Arguably the second best or first best that we will face all year outside of Tulane. However you want to rank that. But I think this was a good test to let you know what you have to look forward to. I mean, if your goal is to win the conference, you've got to be able to block those guys. You've got to be able to win those matchups, the one-on-one matchups on the outside. And we just talked about how many sacks?
3.
3 sacks, 5 hurries, 7 tackles for loss. Doesn't sound like they're winning those matchups.
I mean, it's definitely a concern. It's been a concern for 4 years.
I don't know if it's the scheme, if it's the zone blocking specifically. It feels like once they move in unison, they're just basically.
I will tell you,
they're
we
creating
do,
a wall.
We
and
do
no
have
running back can get beyond it.
We do have one good lineman.
We do. DC.
And our
DC
boy
5'6".
Davion Carter.
Yeah.
As an offensive lineman, he's played the most snaps in the nation without being penalized or giving up a sack or pressure tackle for a loss. If we sign me up for 5 Davion Carters on our offensive line,
We'd have the.
are they cloning people yet?
Davion's probably 6 foot. That'd probably be the shortest offensive line consistently.
He's listed at 6'2".
Is he?
Let me look.
He may be taller. I don't know. He's taller than me.
I mean, I've never stood right by him.
I don't know. And it's not like the offensive line, the players.
6 foot flat.
Yeah, the players themselves are not bad. I don't think they're bad. I just think maybe it's the blocking scheme, or they're getting put in positions where they're having to make multiple decisions at once, essentially. And I think that's the
Simplify
problem.
it.
I would simplify it. Yes, I would look for more power running schemes. I would look for more hat on hat type of blocking schemes, because when they come up to the line, hey, I've got this guy. Hey, I'm going to the next level. Like it needs to be simplified, because when that zone blocking, basically they're just blocking a gap. But the moment they start stepping away from that gap, well, that gap is now someone else's gap technically. And so it gets into the situation where they're just moving sideways and they've created a wall and nobody can get beyond them. Yeah. And it's a run for 2 yards every time.
Yeah. So your concern coming out is the offensive line. We talked about it the first couple of weeks. I do not feel good about our secondary.
Is it just Luther Burden? Is that your reason?
I mean, it wasn't just Luther Burden. I mean, they had guys wide open all night.
They had one guy who had one catch for 70 yards, and that was it, outside of Luther.
No. Theo Weiss, or whatever his name is, had an easy touchdown catch. I mean, Luther, sure.
I think you chalked that one up for it as what it is. We talked about it earlier. I'm going to jump back over to it real quickly. It was 177 yards with 129 yards after catch. So he caught 10 passes for 48 yards.
Come on, man.
You just make a tackle, and it's a difference maker. And a lot of it came on that one crossing route. Speaking of crossing routes again, see how effective they are. Kind of. He took that ball and went, 56 yards? Isn't that what it was?
It's disgusting.
So in the first quarter, he had a catch for 14, 7, and 2 yards, I think it was. So that is, 23 yards? Is that right? Math? 22 yards? It was the second quarter. He had a 28, a 20, a 15, and a 34. That's 97 yards. My math probably isn't mathing. This is rough looking at it. Third quarter, a 3-yard catch, a 1-yard catch, and a 54-yard catch. Just make a damn tackle. Just make a tackle on the guy.
Well, you can't tackle anybody when there's nobody around you.
That was that one play.
Yeah.
That was one play. He is incredible after the catch. Like, that is an NFL wide receiver 10 out of 10 times.
Luther Burden is going to make a lot of money playing wide receiver.
He is.
You guys aren't talking
talented.
out of this. I think our defense sucks.
No.
You're crazy.
I don't think it sucks. I think that is.
We knew they were running the ball the entire fourth quarter, and they just shoved it down our throats.
They did. I think they big boyed us.
Brady Cook's a joke, and he just threw for 3.
He's not a joke.
He's not a joke.
He's good. He has not thrown an interception all year. You know how many SEC quarterbacks that start do that? None of them. Just him. He's the only one. Against Kansas State, a very good defense. Like, I understand they haven't played just everybody great, but, like, it's hard to not throw interceptions sometimes.
Clearly.
This guy.
Sorry.
What does Seth have, 5?
Yeah, that was. We got to talk about that too, but what are you going to do?
All right, Teach, final thoughts on the Missouri game?
I think the defense is good. I know Trey's going to disagree. I think they had a big ask against him to cover Luther Burden, honestly. I just think he's good. I didn't think he would get 177. I was thinking maybe like a 110 kind of thing.
Well, yeah, that's what he's been averaging.
Yeah, I think that was more about right.
I mean, he put up his most yards in a game all year in 3 quarters on us.
Yeah, there was no one on that one route, and that's the one thing you're going to hold on to forever and ever and ever. I think they did fine. They did fine. It was okay. You held your ground against an SEC team, one that looks to be pretty damn decent, I would say. This isn't the yesteryear's bottom-feeding Mizzou team. I think they are beating out expectations. They just beat Kansas State. Do you think Kansas State's trash?
I mean, I don't know.
Was it a fluke game? Like what?
I didn't watch a whole lot of Kansas State, but South Dakota didn't struggle with Luther like we did.
Nitpicking, Trey. You're nitpicking.
MTSU didn't struggle like we did.
Nitpicking, dude. He leads the nation in yards after catch or something after. I don't remember the stat.
Yeah, because he just had 170 yards after catch.
It was before us, you clown. This freaking guy over here. Dude.
The popular opinion on Twitter after the game on Saturday seems to be everybody thinking that we're going to win out and go 11-1 based off that result.
11-1 seems a bit happy. I'm going to definitely not say 11-1, but I do think there's a good chance like that we can do well.
I think they win 9 games.
We played quite, to be frank, shitty on offense, and we were still a touchdown away from an SEC team.
On the road.
On the road. I think you're doing fine. I think that Tulane is still your test. I look at SMU. They still don't scare me. They are SMU through and through every year. It doesn't matter who the coach is.
Apparently, Rice scares you. They got 3
Rice
amazing wide receivers.
Rice
we don't
is
have
good.
to play Rice.
We don't play them.
They just got stomped by South Florida.
That's fine. I think South Florida's good. We've talked about this too. Look, who is beating you? Tulane? That's all you play is Tulane and SMU. You just can't
Shoot, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose the next 2.
effort.
Dang, he is down bad right now. God,
I'm
no.
not down bad. I just
Do you think Boise State's better than us? At home? We lose it?
no. But how many teams have we lost to that are not better than us in the last 4 years?
Sure.
Several.
But this team's different.
Are they?
They finish.
They didn't finish the other night.
They finish at home. Okay? That's
So
the
far.
stat. We're not freaking losing to Boise State at home, Trey.
I don't think we are either.
You just said we could.
I just
We
said I
would.
wouldn't be surprised if we did.
We're not losing to Tulane at home. We haven't done it since 98.
Okay.
Give me a new co-host. This guy's out of his mind.
He's out of his mind.
I'm just telling you, 11-1 feels a little
It
ambitious.
does. It does. I stick to I think I was.
Look, we could come back in next. If we come out, we win 34-17 on Saturday. I will be all in. 11-1.
I think it was 9-3.
So a 7-point loss on the road to an SEC team makes you
I'm
just
just saying there were a lot of things
shit
I
the bed
saw
on the season.
There were a lot of things on Saturday I saw that disgusted me.
Sure, that's perfectly fine.
One thing that I did like though is Missouri was 0 of 8 on third downs.
and they were 40% on the year coming into that.
Yeah.
Bad defenses don't do that.
Well, we also only held them to 8 third downs.
That's fine. Oh, how many possessions did they have? How many? I mean,
I don't know, but we had like 18 third downs.
well, we talked about the offense being shitty already.
Shitty at times.
That's true. Cramsey, I know you're out there and you're watching, brother.
Look, I just need Saturday to be here. I need
Air it
another,
out.
I need another game.
I think I do. That's a good point. I think we just need to.
I will say I did not.
refresh.
Years past, a loss would have absolutely ruined. And maybe this is bad. Maybe this is a bad sign. Maybe this is a sign of apathy. But I wasn't upset Saturday. I mean, I wasn't taking any moral victories, but I was not like pissed off.
no.
I felt okay about a 34-27 loss to Missouri.
Yeah.
I still expect us, just because of what we've experienced, to, well, we beat Boise and Tulane and then lose at Charlotte. Yeah, probably.
I think that I was okay losing that, but I definitely thought they could win.
Oh, I think
without question.
it was winnable, and I think we
Without
made
question they could have won.
a lot of plays that kept us from winning.
Sure.
There were definitely times when Missouri felt like the better team. The fourth quarter when they're just running it down on our throats,
Without a
but you
doubt.
still had opportunities to win the game, and you were still in the game. I think the interceptions, penalties that stalled drives. I mean, early on, there were at least 2 in the first half where we got to midfield or across midfield, and we had penalties that ended up stalling the drive. We had to punt. It felt like a very winnable game.
Sure.
I don't feel like you got out there and at the start, 76-yard right off, third play from scrimmage for them. Years past, you probably get blown out.
Yeah.
It felt like to me the game, the thing that frustrated me about it was that it felt like most of it was self-inflicted wounds, like self-inflicted
Without a
stuff.
doubt.
I mean,
that-
yeah, and that's the approach. That's what I've thought. And then I go back and I think, and I'm like, well, they just crammed it down our throat in the fourth quarter running the ball when we knew they were going to run the ball. That's not really self-inflicted. That's literally them lining up and us not being able to stop them.
But we had stopped them all game. So, like, what changed in the fourth quarter?
We're tired, I guess.
We rotate 17 defensive linemen. Who was tired? I don't get it. I can't.
Then I don't know what to
as
tell you.
I can't accept that as an excuse.
Okay, then what was it?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like all they do is talk about how deep the defensive line is, and we agree, right? If Jalen isn't out there, it's going to be Fox. You've got White. You've got Trench Baby. You've got Whitlow. You've got Cormonte Hamilton. You've got Ellison. You've got
Spears.
Like we can talk about Jara Anderson. Like we can name dudes left and right. But when it gets down to it, like where are they at?
You know what cost us the game?
But what?
What cost us the game in the end?
Not being able to stop the run in the fourth quarter.
No, it's the SEC officials made us use a tee on the onside kick.
What was that?
Which was absolutely bogus.
I think they've come out and apologized since then. I think I saw something on Twitter.
Do you think them telling us we had to use a tee is what resulted in our onside team not even going for the ball?
No,
That was weird.
No, but it was the weirdest
That was
onside
the weirdest
kick I've ever watched.
onside kick ever.
They just kicked it and just watched it.
It's because they were like, we really don't have to use a tee. What's like, this is their practice run. They're just seeing if he can kick it with a tee, and we're going to line up and redo this.
Where's the accountability on the refs?
I don't know. That was disgusting. Also, would you have kicked it deep there with 3 timeouts?
I don't think you. I remember you texting.
They had nobody back.
nobody back, but you had no one fast enough to make up for that type of.
How
advantage.
high can you kick a football off of a tee? Because I'd have just
pretty
pooched
damn
that
high.
bitch way in the air and then been like, Demir, go catch this out of the air.
But all they gotta do is get someone relatively close to call a fair catch.
Well, it's a foot race. At that point, they had everybody up on the line.
Can you, if this is a serious question,
And you're having to turn around. Demir's got a head start. Might not have been a bad plan.
I don't know. I remember you saying that there's no way anyone on our team is going to make up a 10.
I mean, I don't think so either. We don't have,
They had their hands team out, so they've got fast dudes out there.
Luther came out for that.
Yeah, Luther's the one that recovered, I believe.
he was hurt.
No, he came out
he's
and
the one
recovered that ball.
Yeah, but he was still hurt.
Maybe
He's not 100%.
he played in the fourth quarter. He can't be that
100% Demir is beating a hurt Luther in a foot race.
hurt. Probably. I just don't know if he was actually hurt. He looked like he just caught a cramp.
That's hurt.
What are we talking about? Get over this game, dude. We lost it. We're moving on. We learned from it.
Last thing I'll say, shout out to
42
freaking
week.
Gillis for
Dude, yeah, shout out for Tanner Gillis, dude.
stepping in and looking like a kicker.
Yeah, that ball came out kind of low. I'm
Hey,
not
I
gonna
don't
lie,
care.
but it was
The
a
first
boot.
one was a boot.
Okay.
That would have been good from 50.
Was that not the weirdest tweet ever?
I don't want to even. It's disgusting. How do both of your scholarship kickers the first tweet I saw didn't say anything about injury, so I was like, it is the stomach bug. The Willis household has it. He was hanging out
right.
with Seth and Tristan.
Yeah, we all went to Firehouse.
They must have been roommates in St. Louis. They got boo-boo bottom and they can't play. And then somebody said they were injured, and I'm like, okay, what the hell's going on? Did they get hurt at Topgolf trying to outdrive each other? And they're still day to day. We have no idea if they're playing Saturday or not.
I have no clue how your kicker gets hurt. Not one.
Not
of
just
them.
one, both.
Yeah,
Both.
but
In
for
the same
both of them?
week. Something's fishy.
He said that he knew that they were hurt, but like they were kind of day to day, so I didn't want to like say anything about it. But it was weird that it came out right before the game. But I guess not.
I mean, were they riding somewhere together and were in a minor car accident?
Tandem bikes?
Yeah,
I don't know. On a tandem bike and fell over.
I don't know. That's a great question.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we get back, we're going to preview Boise State. We got Fade TJ and Thunder Picks, and we'll review this Hotter than
than
Hellz.
Hellz.
We'll be right back.
Hotter than Hellz.
Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape. Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause. And most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
And can we give a round of applause? It's a special edition
For the
episode
boys.
of
Let's do
On
it for the boys.
the Bluff. There it is.
That's the one.
There's some fake applause in there.
Yes. Hey, thank you to the studio audience. Appreciate you.
We've officially made it. It is Gabe Kuhn wedding week. That's where
Yes.
we have to start. Saturday night. That was weak.
Thank you.
That
All
was
right,
weak.
all right.
Saturday night, it is going down.
Do you have any awes in the crowd?
You want an all?
I want an aw.
Oh, like that. I thought you were like a bad all. But okay, yes. Anyway,
Kenny's a married man. Why'd he play that sound?
yeah.
Hey, what's that about?
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Some things are bigger than W's and L's, bigger than wins and losses, bigger than the sport or winning, all those type of things. I personally, and we talk about real stuff here. This is not just your typical sports show. I'm not gonna separate sports and politics. There are certain things to me that I personally get excited about. As a black man, I am excited that a Deion Sanders is coming in and changing that system. But it's not about the wins and losses this season with Deion Sanders. If you can't see what that man is about to do in college football, destroying so many years and years and decades of status quo, things being the way they are, and stepping into a whole nother thing, he's about to break college football. And I hate to make a whole nother spiel about this and take it off of the field, but that's why I'm super excited about Deion Sanders. I ordered my Colorado hoodie today. It'll be in the mail in a couple days.
Tune in to The Anthony Sane Show, Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
DJ, we got a big one this week. Is it big? I don't know. Two and two Broncos out of Boise.
Is it Spider Big?
I think
We learned over the break that spiders have penises.
it's true.
We're doing a little biology lesson.
I think it's supposed to be big.
Shout out to Sadie Butter.
I think we have learned that Boise is not the Boise of yesteryear, right?
They
I don't
were
think
the
they've even
original
won.
G5 Kings.
I don't think they've won the conference in the past 5 years. I don't know that off the top of my head, but Wyoming looks better. San Diego State looks better.
Fresno State.
Fresno State. I mean,
Fresno
I could name a
State is
couple of them.
currently the popular G5 New Year's Six pick.
Yeah, I could name a couple of teams that look better. And so, like, it's the idea was you needed to win that. So once you win your conference, you had the leg up on the Mountain West winner. It doesn't seem like that's going to be Boise. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
Do we still hold true to the idea that the AAC winner is going to be the New Year's Six Bowl representative?
I think so.
Well, the problem is I don't think a lot of the other conferences are playing anyone.
I mean, it could vary. If Fresno State truly, I think they have 2 Power 5 wins already. Yeah, they beat Purdue and Arizona State. Does
Arizona State count?
Yeah, there's an asterisk on that. But
I mean, they looked pretty decent against UCS.
Yeah.
Or USC this weekend.
USC, yeah, I think USC's defense is absolute Sadie Butter.
I'm just. Well, they've got 2 Power 5 wins. I think if Fresno State goes undefeated, they very well could get it.
I do think I think that the American just gets a bigger nod in terms.
Has a bigger nod.
What is happening? I'm just saying, like
I do too. I mean, if you have a 1-loss American team,
I think they get the nod.
I mean, if it was us and our only loss was Mizzou, I think it would be us.
yeah, I think it's perfectly fine. So I don't know. Air Force is also undefeated. Just throwing that out there.
There's no way they would put Air Force in a New Year's Six Bowl. No way.
I mean, they're undefeated and they've beaten Bob Morris, Sam Houston, who's playing their first FBS year, Utah State, and San Jose State.
All that matters is they win their conference.
There's no way.
I don't think they're going to
On
continue.
viewership alone, the Fiesta Bowl will not pick.
I don't know. I really have no clue. I do think whoever wins the American has the best chance
I do
at making that. And then, of course, that can change.
That's with the
Like,
assumption that the American is a 1-loss team.
Yes.
All American teams have at least 1 loss.
yeah.
I mean, if you've got an undefeated Fresno with a 2-loss American champion, then it's probably going to be Fresno.
That makes sense. I'm with that.
All right. Anyway, big one in the sim on Saturday, 3 p.m. ESPN2. Your Tigs are, I think it's a 3.5 point. Got to 2.5. Let's look at the DraftKings. It is currently 3.5.
Okay.
3.5 point favorite. Even though Brett McMurphy tweeted it incorrectly and tried to say Boise was the favorite. Disgusting.
Seems like a rather small line, doesn't it?
It
3.5.
I will say I said 3. So
Trey did pick that.
TJ, myself, and our buddy Charlie, we do this before the lines come out every week. Try to guess. I said it was going to be about 3.5. It was. They both said 7.5. I just know Vegas is what it boils down to. I think 3.5 feel here. I knew that that's what they were going to put it at, but stay tuned later and we'll discuss it more.
Yeah. I think I actually said 7.5, but
Yeah, I think Charlie said 7. You said 7.5.
I think
said
that
3.
line will move, but it's just
It's
me.
already, it moved down and now it's back up. It did get all the way down to 2.5 or 2.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, right when it came out, it moved pretty quickly. All right. What are you scared of with Boise?
Ashton Genty. I mean, I think that's the only thing you
I
can
mean,
be
they
scared
are
of.
a pretty one-dimensional ball club.
Yeah.
To be quite honest. Genty's, look, based on the fourth quarter, I don't feel great about it.
Yeah.
I mean, not just with Genty, but with the QB. They're
Taylor
both
Green.
Yeah. Green's very capable of running. He's not a great passer. I mean, he sits at like a 50% completion rate. Every throws for like 6.5 yards. I mean, he's not airing it out. He's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
But he's very capable of running. I think in the last 2 years, he's got 24 runs for 10 plus yards, which is, that's a lot of runs for a QB.
Yeah.
But looking at it, offensively, they've struggled in the air. I mean, his Green's passing grade from PFF is 56.8 this season. Again, only averaging 6.5 yards per attempt. And I don't know what Action Network is saying, but through 4 weeks, they have our secondary listed as the best in the country. I think that's because we played Bethune, Arkansas State, and Navy. I'm surprised that didn't bump us from the first place after what Cook and Burden just did to us on Saturday. Yeah. But we rank first in passing success rate allowed, passing explosiveness, which is hard to believe after a 76-yard tutty and then what Luther was able to do, and then passes allowed. So they also have Memphis rated as a top 50 rushing success rate defense. So while Genty can pound the rock and Green can run it, it'll be interesting to see what they're able to do, Boise State, on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and I've watched some of the Boise game, and Taylor Green I don't think is good. I think they're better with Hank Bachmeier back there, but I think he got hurt. I don't even know if he's actually there anymore now, but Green started there last year as well. He looks the part. You know, he's 6'5", 6'6", 220.
Who did you compare him to earlier?
Oh, Grant Gunnell.
Yeah.
Very similar in terms of build if you look at them. They're big guys, and he is just not a great passer. He's just not. Like, I mean, it looks like, you know, you and myself are back there at quarterback trying to throw the ball.
Speak for yourself.
And I do think that Ashton Genty is good. As much praise as we've given Blake Watson, he is as much Blake Watson as Blake Watson is Blake Watson. They are on the same level.
You lost me because you just said Blake Watson no less than 6 times in the same sentence. So
he is a very explosive runner. He will catch it out of the backfield. They will move him around to get him the ball. He is all over the place, and he is very good. I think he is a former 4-star. So, I mean, he comes heralded, I think, out of Texas, maybe. Does that sound right? No, he's good. He's good, and he's definitely someone they're going to have to watch for.
Yeah, he's He's got 407 rushing yards, I think 6 tutties with a long of 58, averaging 5.6 yards a carry. He is also their second, to your point, out of the backfield, a lot like Blake Watson, their second leading receiver.
Yeah.
Both in receptions at 18, right behind Eric McAllister, their bigger-bodied wide receiver. He's got 20 for 328 and 3 touchdowns. But Gentry's got 18 receptions, 285, so a 15.8 yard average and 2 touchdowns receiving.
I mean,
It's kind of a do-it-all guy for him.
yeah, he is very much so. Again, Blake Watson, like he is. You kind of just watch him, and that's where the ball is going to be 90% of the time. It feels like. So I think he just put up 200 yards against San Diego State. I think it was 200 yards. Very explosive runner. I mean, he's definitely the one you're going to have to watch. I'm not worried. I say I'm not worried about the quarterback. Green can run, as we've talked on it. It feels very similar to ECU of years past with what's his name?
Ayers.
Holton Ahlers.
Ahlers.
Not a runner necessarily, but on third down can always find a way to pick up the 10
think
yards needed.
Green's
And
a little more athletic than
yes, Green is definitely more athletic than Ahlers. I think he's not Tim Tebow light. He is just very long, and I think that he is interesting enough. I think he can make the difference.
So offensively, watching out for Ashton Genty, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, Florida, 5'9", 200, very similar to Blake Watson. And then obviously what Green will be able to do, sort of in the run game for them. Defensively, TJ, they are bad.
Very bad.
Bad.
Very bad.
I watched a little bit of the San Diego State game on Friday, and it was very reminiscent of the first half. The Tigers, they are a poor tackling squad. Their defense this year, they're giving up 8 yards a play, which ranks 132 out of 133 FBS teams. Now, part of that is because they've faced 2 top 5 offenses in college football in Washington, who's number 1.
Yeah.
And
UCF,
who's number 4. But that is not good. 132 out of 133. No. They have not done a very good job of stopping the run, but they've been even worse at stopping the pass. They're allowing 11.6 yards through the air, which is 101st in the passing defense. So this is a game that Seth could get back on track through the air. They also don't do a very good job of getting the quarterback. They've been one of the worst teams in the country, 119th out of 133 in their pass rush grade, and then 116th in sack percentage. So they are not getting to the quarterback very often.
It feels like we're playing a pretty version of Arkansas State based off the stats that you're giving me, because I think Arkansas State is probably like tit for tat on all of those in terms of.
They are a better ball club than Arkansas State.
As I said, the pretty version of
for
them,
sure.
You know, they have names, they have more talent. I would say their offense is better just because of Genty alone. But
yeah, so they're FPI wise, they are, I want to say 65th, I think. They're kind of the reverse of us, to be honest.
What do you mean there?
They're 64th in FPI. Their efficiency wise, offense is decent. At 45th, defense 92nd. We're about to flip of that.
Yeah.
Defense, we're 40th. Offense, we're 80th, I think. Efficiency.
You know, we've talked about it.
So it's going to be a matchup of a decent offense and a
Poor defense.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe not poor. But.
Well,
Yeah.
their defense is poor. Our offense is not great.
Yeah.
And our defense is decent and their offense is decent.
Which pisses me off. And we've talked about it all episode because there's no reason for the offense to be bad. There's just no reason for it. You have all of the weapons.
I mean, I don't know that they're bad.
You just told me they were ranked 90th in the nation out of
That's
130.
efficiency wise.
That's bad.
They're just not efficient.
That's bad.
It's because they have moments where they stall.
Yeah, I don't know. It's annoying.
I mean, you're averaging 37 points a game. You're putting up yardage wise
350,
437.
more than I thought.
Boise State's given up 450 and 30 points a game. I mean, I think you'll be able to find success offensively.
They should. And I think that they should literally, and it's so annoying that I'm saying this because I've said it every episode for the past like 6 years, I feel like. I know that's a bit of an exaggeration, but air it out. Literally air it out. Let the pass open the run.
Get Seth in a rhythm, even if it's throwing to Watson out of the backfield.
Yes. You've got to give him quick reads and
Let Rock be
simplify
Rock
it.
and go up and get the ball.
Yes. Try to simplify it for him. And
Give me a Demir over the middle.
yeah. Why was
Give
it?
me a skates bomb
Yeah.
down the middle of the field.
Honestly, at one point, I would be so curious if they ran 4 wide receivers and had Skates at one slot, Demir at the other, and just ran them both. Just run fly straight down the field.
Give me a Kobe Drake tutty right over the middle of the field.
Yeah, I mean-
in traffic.
Look,
Open it up Saturday. Air that baby out.
I've said it 50 times. I hate the long developing routes. It takes so long because that's what Seth gets back there. He's just watching one guy, watching one guy.
And I think he starts thinking.
he
just
overthinks
takes.
it. Yeah, I would agree with that.
He
If
takes
it's not there.
just a second, 2 seconds too long sometimes to make the decision.
Sure.
The guy's open. He throws it a second and a half too late, and it ends up being an incompletion or a pick.
Yeah, and I hate that it seems like we're just sitting there piling on Seth and that everyone's piling on Seth. But as the quarterback, that kind of is how that works. Like you catch as much heat as
the
the
name
head
of the
coach
game.
does 90% of the time.
You're the only guy that touches the ball every play.
Well, Jacob likes touches it a lot.
Okay.
Touche. I do think the Tigers win. I don't think it will be like the Arkansas State 37-3 kind of blowout because I compared them to Arkansas State earlier. I do think it will be a closer game because I think Boise's running back is really good, and I think their quarterback can extend plays. I think they're more competent on offense than Arkansas State for sure.
Absolutely.
So I'm interested to see how it works out. I'm curious if they're going to change up defense a little bit, maybe have someone at the star position, maybe not necessarily spy Green, but maybe watch Genty specifically and just man up on him. Like I'd be very curious if they would do that because you know that they're going to go to him. He's going to get a majority of the touches on offense.
Yeah.
It seems kind of easy to stop somebody when you know exactly what they're going to do.
Touch the ball 30% of the time.
Yeah.
What do you think the crowd's going to be like?
I think a lot of people were okay. Again, not okay with the loss to Mizzou.
It's
but,
obviously
like,
not going to be what it could have been had you just beaten
Sure.
Missouri on the road.
yeah. I think
Do
that
you
people are
think
gonna
they
understand that.
eclipse 30K?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. They'll be over 30K. Not by much. I'd say probably 33.
I don't know if I'm there.
Really? I think
I
it's
still feel like there's a lot of people who are just totally out.
that is probably true, but you also
It is
have,
Kids Day, though.
you have the kids' day.
Bring
You're
the young
still
ones
racking
out.
up all the free tickets from the $60 ticket at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So I do think it'll probably be 30K. It's also fun because it's a new opponent,
Yeah.
right? I don't think we've ever played Boise State.
No, this is the first time we've played.
It's just more fun when it's a new opponent like that. Like Boise's fun
is.
because we all grew up
I think
watching
you
Jared
can get-
Zabransky and
I think
Ian
you-
Johnson.
I'm talking myself into it. The more you're talking about it, I think you can get a decent crowd. It's 3:00 on a Saturday. There's not really any like great games. I guess locally LSU and Ole Miss play, but it's not till 5. You can get out to Liberty Bowl, catch the second half of the Ole Miss game after that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing really great on. You
Yeah.
can get a decent crowd.
It should be a decent crowd without
You still got the win with us promo going. You got a ticket if you bought one of those early. It's Kids Day, like we said. Hopefully it won't be terribly hot. It'll be a nice day for football out there in the bowl.
hotter than Hellz, dude. We talked about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think we get 30K plus.
It should be.
New
Kenny,
opponent.
you on team 30K?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have a tough time. I would have told you that the Navy game was way more than what it was in terms of.
I felt that way too. And it's hard for TJ and I because we sit on the away side and we sit low. So when you look up, the seats look more full than they are. And then somebody from the other side sends me a picture, and I'm okay. Yeah, it's not nearly as full over here as I thought that it was. But I definitely thought there were at least the same amount or more at the Navy game than the Bethune game, but
Yeah.
I would say, I think 30K wouldn't be surprising. If they beat Boise, I think you're looking at, and I know it's a Friday game, but I think you're looking at 35-40 against Tulane.
I could see that.
I definitely see that because that's pretty much, to a lot of people, that's the
That's the
conference.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's the
That's the
conference
game.
championship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you still have to beat SMU and you still have to beat technically North Texas. I mean, there's more to it than that, but like that feels like the game,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
right?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think we get over 30. All right, give me your score prediction.
Oh man, that's a good
Line's
question.
3.5. Let me look at the FPI. I think it's like a 65% chance to win.
And I'll tell you what makes this so difficult is like apparently all of our kickers have broken legs all at once or whatever the
Hey,
situation.
Gillis is
may
in
be.
there. Yeah, 65-35 in favor
Gillis
of the
is there.
Tigs.
I understand. And I appreciate Tanner for everything he's done. But like you could tell that they're not super confident putting him out. It was the same thing with Joe Doyle, right? This isn't anything specific
be
to
real.
Tanner.
He's better than Joe
Gillis's
Doyle.
kicks look
Yeah.
much
They definitely look
much
better.
more
It seems like he's kicked a
field goal
before in his
kicker
life.
than Joe
Yeah.
Doyle's. Not to hate on Joe Doyle,
But my point is,
Doyle rules.
they
but
were
when you're
changing
kicking
their
field
game
goals
plan.
and the ball's actually going end over end, it looks legit.
They were
Yeah.
changing their game plan because they didn't have Morgan or
Yeah.
even Vandenberg there.
But I don't
think that
feel
plays
like
into
they-
them not kicking that field goal.
Do you?
I do.
No.
I don't think so. I don't think they really changed it.
I don't know.
Definitely not like they had to for Joe.
Ryan
in that
said it after the
scenario.
game that didn't have anything to do with it. I'm just saying.
I believe it. I think if they had changed their game plan, they wouldn't have tried the first one at 43. You're sending a guy out there who's never kicked a college kick from 43. If you don't feel confident
Just
in
see
that,
what he's
they
got.
I don't know.
I don't know. It maybe it
After he
didn't. I don't
drilled
know.
that one, I'd have been like, all right, you can do this. It's
Yeah, maybe it didn't. It just felt like you had the points there. I'm not going back to Mizzou. Sorry. But it does change my score prediction, I think, because I have no clue.
you
if
gotta
the kicker's
factor it
gonna be
in.
out there. You normally do, yeah, for sure. I just don't know if they will. You know?
This is a feeling of a game that could get weird.
I'm going to say 38-27 Memphis.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's hitting the over. Over under 60. I like the Tigs on Saturday.
I could
just-
notate that somewhere. I always forget my score.
Boise just doesn't
I'll send
have-
you a text.
I think
appreciate
this is a game that the offense really gets rolling, clicking. It's a good Seth game. He's going to throw for 350 and 4 tutties. Blake Watson's going to have 100 yards rushing.
We need that. I'm
30
tired of hearing the booing from the Memphis fans.
38. We're averaging right at 37. TJ's right on our average. I'm going to say 35. God, I don't want to. I was going to say 24, but that's an 11-point game, just like you said.
If it feels right, it feels right.
I'll say 35-27.
Listen to your heart.
35-27.
Yeah. We won by 8.
Listen to your heart. No, you just gotta listen to your heart.
All right, Timothy, anything else to look forward to Boise State-wise?
Air it out. Like I don't want to keep saying the same thing. I'm so tired.
How many passing attempts you want Seth to have?
How many do you have against Mizzou?
41, right?
40.
41 sounds right.
Do you want him having 41?
I'm okay with 41. They get a lot of
41 seems like a lot.
It does.
He had
but
47.
They also, 47. But they also had what? 20 rushing, like more than 20.
See, this
rushing
also,
attempts.
this is the problem. You get up 10 points and they're going to start trying to run the ball. Drain a little clock.
That's fine. I
Hashtag
think
win with class.
you can also turn some short passing game into modified runs, which is essentially what they're doing with Blake, right? We see these little arrow screens basically right off the end, and it turns into a 7-yard play. Well, it's technically just like a modified run, right?
Well, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what they do. So I don't get too upset about like running it or passing to a running back necessarily. It's kind of all one and the same to me. So
How many touches you want Blake to have?
173.
that
that-
seems egregious. That's
we-
like Toby Gerhardt's.
If we got 173 plays off, and Blake touched it every play, that would be wild.
That would be essentially twice.
How many
the normal
overtimes
amount
would that be?
Yeah.
Well, your score I think would change to 42-3 Tigers if that was the case.
If we had 173 plays, I would probably say that we scored 70.
Yeah, hopefully more than 40 points. I think Blake, if you're talking about true runs,
I'm just saying touching in general, out of the backfield, catching, running.
25.
Yeah. I think if you hover in that 25, 30.
I think, I want him taking catching 7 to 8 passes. Any more seems egregious. Like the 9, I think the last one was kind of crazy, but
Catching 7 or 8, but 9 is
I think
wild.
9 starts getting to another level. That's like your upper echelon for your
Timothy,
receivers.
it's one more.
I understand, but that's pushing the echelon. At some point, it has
TJ's
to be
over here
cut off.
acting like 7 or 8, and the dude had 15 catches.
You're pushing that. Rock Taylor
It's fine.
had how many
just
targets?
say you don't want him to have double
Demir had how
digit.
many targets?
11.
11. So 9 and 11. You're talking about your running back is being targeted almost as much as your
Well,
wide receivers.
That's fine.
I don't
It
like
worked.
that. I don't like that.
9 targets, 9 catches. That's 100%.
I don't like it.
All right, final thoughts. Get out to the freaking sim Saturday.
That'd be nice.
Pack it.
Make it 35. Get weird.
Let's get weird.
Let's get weird. They have a cool color blue. We have a cool color blue. The stadium should look good, right?
Our field looks nicer than theirs.
It does. Never been a fan of the Smurf turf, but
Nope.
I don't hate it. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Wait,
way
what?
better than Eastern Washington's red turf.
yeah.
That was
the
awful.
blood turf. And then there's that high school field in
The black one in
Yeah.
New York. I kind of get down with
Could
that.
you imagine practicing in the summertime on that?
Well,
So
I think the
supposedly
latitude,
they
longitude works a bit
actually,
differently.
yeah, somebody went out there and did like a field thermometer test, and it wasn't really any different than a normal field.
Yeah.
Like they went out mid-July, and it was
88 degrees.
it was fine.
Yeah, like how hot is it in whatever city, New York, compared to
Who is it? Is it Central Arkansas that's got a purple turf? Or is it like gray with purple?
Don't y'all think that's kind of doing a bit too much?
I do.
Gray
I don't like
is,
the colored turf. I'll be honest with you. I'm not even really a turf guy myself.
Eastern
I prefer
Michigan.
prefer the. Well, then I think it is Central Arkansas that has a purple field. I prefer natural grass, Timothy or Kenneth.
really?
I love the look of a natural grass field. It's also safer.
Whatever. I don't care. I have no preference. I'm not playing on it.
All right, let's jump into this hotter than Hellz.
It's good, man.
Oh, we forgot.
Fade
bets,
TJ Thunder picks.
Oh my!
How you gonna drop out?
Jeez.
the money
We're
segment?
changing it to ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, it needs to be. We're
Because
hot
we are
right now.
both currently 4-1 now through 5 weeks of betting picks here on Tigers Untapped. Last week, TJ had JMU -5.5 at Utah State.
Dukes.
Looked very, very easy.
What are you
for
gonna do?
A half because they were up 31-7, and then let Utah State back in, and I think only won 45-38. Maybe is that right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Took
They
a late
covered though.
tutty.
We're good. We're good.
And then the closest of closest for me with South Carolina winning by 7, I took them -6.5. So got you guys covered by 0.5 point.
That's all that matters.
A win's a win.
A win's a win.
A cover's a cover. What's our ride TJ pick this week since you're so dominant at betting all of
I
a
know.
sudden?
All of a sudden, I'm hot, baby. I'm gonna jinx it right here. I'm actually gonna take the over between Tulane and the Membrane in UAB. I think UAB looked pretty good against Georgia. Maybe a little fluky there. I know it's only 21 points, but more so Tulane because it doesn't really seem like it matters who the quarterback is. But I think they're getting Pratt back now. I think he will officially be back, and I think that they could put up 37 on their own. And if you're telling me the over under is 57, I think they're kind of getting close there. I'm gonna take the over.
Don't hate it. By the way, I looked up and it is Central Arkansas. I don't know that you can see this, but they have a two-toned gray and purple field. It's disgusting.
That is extra.
Where is that in Conway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nasty. That's nasty business.
All right, Timothy, with the over in the Tulane UAB. I'm going to be honest. I don't like the slate this week. Very difficult for me to find a pick. And this is going to be so homer. But I'm going with your University of Memphis Tigs -3.5 against
Wow.
Boise State. I think we win by at least a tutty inside Simmons Bank. You know why?
Because we don't lose in the
we don't lose non-conference games except for one. It was to UTSA 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We are literally 22-1 since 2014, I think, inside Simmons Bank in non-conference home matchups.
Yeah, I can't support a loss at home. I just don't see it happening, man.
So, Tiggs -3.5. I think we win by at least a tutty. Those are your ride, TJ. Sorry, Kenneth, you're going to have to change the graphic.
Sorry, dude.
Graphic's been changed.
We've been winning too
That's what
much.
happens when TJ decides that he's now good at betting.
Well, for what it's worth, the first one with UMass should have been a lock. I don't understand.
That would be the one that
It was like 50-0.
that you lose. Is something that literally hasn't happened in 50 years. TJ picks and it loses week 1.
What are you going to do?
I think you were overthinking it.
Or I was not overthinking it because it was so easy.
All right. Well, hopefully this will be us being 5-1.
Let's hope
Just
so.
keep making the listeners money.
Let's hear it out. Hot and Hellz. Yeah, this is Meddlesome.
Here's to hoping it's not hotter. Who's sneakily a very good brewery.
I do like it.
I mean, we're out here in the Dirty Dova, drinking a Dirty Dova brew.
I like them.
I don't know that I've had a Meddlesome that I haven't enjoyed so far.
They got a vanilla porter I'm not a big fan of. Under Pressure, I believe. But
I don't know that I've had that one. Have we had that?
no, we haven't yet.
Isn't there another Hot and Hellz or something that we've had before?
Yeah, we did it before Mississippi State last year.
Whose was that?
It was
Ground City.
No, it's not Grind City. It's right on the corner of Lamar downtown. It's got the tree. Help me out here. Don't know
Ghost
why.
River?
Ghost River. Thank you.
That's right.
Yep.
I liked this.
It was good.
I like the can. It's got the fans on there. The dude who's actually melting. I don't know if you can even see that. Looks like he's in hell, but he's on the beach. The beaches of hell. There's a fried egg.
I just noticed the egg, actually.
This is a good can. I'm putting this can up there. This is a 7.3 can.
That's higher than me. I do like it, though. I mean, it says Hot and Hellz. I do like the fire flames, the fans, the guy melting. I think it all plays into it. I probably wouldn't go on that high just because
What does that cup say?
Golf, it looks like something.
Because he's at
Gulp?
the beach.
Maybe gulp.
Gulp, probably.
Like a big gulp. I don't like the blue color. Is that weird? Is that nitpicking?
Big gulps, huh?
What, this like teal?
Big gulp, huh? I get
All
it.
right.
I get it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know if I like the color, that teal color there. I'd probably go a little bit lower, 6'8", maybe 6'9".
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's not much lower. I just,
Enjoyed this brew.
it was good. I don't know if I would drink 2 of them at a tailgate. I mean, I thought it was good, but I don't know if I want 2 of them.
I would definitely drink 2 of these.
It sits on the fence for me because normally, like, if I could drink 2 of them, I'm like, that's a 7 or up. But this one's good. I liked it, but I'm not confident I would drink 2 of them. So I would probably match my can rating of 6.9.
Wow. Didn't you say 6.8?
6.8, 6.9. Yeah, I was like a tweener.
Nice.
It's good. I just I don't know if I want 2 of them.
I enjoyed this. I'm going 7.5 on this bad boy.
Wow. It's good. I mean, it's good. I get that.
A little Hell's Brock. I like it. 6.5 ABV.
Yeah.
Get your turn. Give me 2. Not 3, just 2.
It's good.
Final thoughts.
Just win the game, man. Just win.
Just keep winning.
Yeah. It's as simple as
Let's
that.
start a new win streak Saturday inside the ball. We'll see you next week. Come with the cold beer, stay for the hot takes. Peace.
If you enjoyed this episode of Tigers Untapped, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Like and subscribe at Bluff City Media's YouTube page. Head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co for comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports.